Here comes one.
Where?
Oh, it's too deep.
Too deep for what?
I'm gonna try to catch one.
You're gonna catch a jellyfish?
I'm gonna catch a jellyfish. Ready?
Is that possible?
I think so.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happens. Ready?
Ah!
Ah! What's going on, guys? Well, it is another day off for the Brave Wilderness team, and instead of lounging around, what we're gonna do is take these sea kayaks out into the waterways around the San Juan Islands. We're gonna be exploring and seeing what we can come across, and if we're lucky, fingers crossed, maybe we'll see some marine mammals. Approaching quietly in a sea kayak is a great way to observe wildlife. So as long as we kept a respectful distance, there was a good chance we would have luck seeing some animals. Check this out, guys. Just found, if I can get it up here. Well, Mario keeps bouncing towards the right. Look at this. Look at that. Ow, he's pinching me. Woo, that's a big kelp crab right there. Look at that guy. Wow, there's all these kelp beds, and look at those pinchers. That's awesome. He's covered with seaweed on its back. He's got algae growing on it. That is a kelp crab right there. And it's just sitting there pulling apart little pieces of the kelp and then forcing them into its mouth. Look at that. Woo, those pinchers mean business. That's actually the largest kelp crab I've seen since we've been here in Washington. Now they get significantly bigger than this. Look, the plastron underneath there, you see how thin that is? That means that this is a male and not a female. Females have a much more rounded plastron and the males are far pointier. Ooh, that guy's cool looking though. Trying not to get pinched by it. He's got pretty good reach. Whoop, almost got me there. All right, I'm gonna set this kelp crab back down here into the kelp and we're gonna keep searching for other bizarre marine creatures. All right, see you later, buddy. After I released the crab back into the kelp, we quietly drifted closer to South Peapod Island, which is hailed as one very popular bird hangout. All right, guys, so just behind us on the rocks right here, we have a pair of pigeon guillemons. It's a little marine bird, and they're very distinct. They have the same color structure as an orca. They are black and white, but they have these really distinct, bright, kind of pinkish red feet. Mario's trying to get a really zoomed in shot. We're being really quiet, just trying to not paddle at all. We've drifted right up to the edge of the rocks like this. They're just kind of looking down at us saying, look at that kayak. This massive rock was also the perfect hangout for western gulls, one of the most plentiful birds on and around the islands. With a wingspan of nearly 5 feet, they're rather sizable, and as we drifted closer, they all looked down at us with curious eyes. Believe it or not, a flock of seagulls is rather intimidating, so after a few admiring moments, we paddled on toward North Peapod Island. We're still about 800 yards out, and I can hear from here that there are a whole bunch of harbor seals hauled out on the shore. So what we want to do is approach very slowly, very cautiously. We don't want to get any closer than about 200 yards from the island, and we'll see if there's any out in the water that actually get curious and come up near the kayak. Look at that, there's a harbor seal right there, right off the side of the kayak. Hi, buddy. Harbor seals hail as being the most widely spread pinniped, or true seals, in the world, and can measure up to 6 feet in length while weighing nearly 300 pounds. Staying a respectful distance from the island kept the animals at ease. However, as a human you can't help but feel a little hesitant as they surrounded us from nearly every angle. The good news is that harbor seals are seldom aggressive, and oftentimes are simply curious, like little water puppy dogs that just pop their heads out of the water to say hello. Filming seals from a distance was rather difficult, so we decided to turn our attention to another marine creature that was also incredibly plentiful in these offshore waters.
Surrounded by jellyfish right now.
Here comes one.
Where?
Oh, it's too deep.
Too deep for what?
I'm gonna try to catch one.
You're gonna catch a jellyfish?
I'm gonna catch a jellyfish. That's a moon jelly. Should I pick it up?
You're gonna pick up that jellyfish?
Yeah, well, not by the underside. I'm gonna scoop it from the top so that the tentacles don't get me. Ready?
Is that possible?
I think so.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happens. Ready?
Yep.
1,
Are you sure about this?
2. Ah! Ah!
Did it get you?
Just kidding, guys. That's a moon jellyfish. And while they're capable of stinging very small prey, the sting has absolutely no effects on a human. But it's very slimy.
You tricked us.
I did trick you. In fact, I'm so confident it won't sting. Mark, go ahead, put your hand out there. Right into the nematophores, which are right in the center. Slimy, but
Nothing.
not stingy.
Nothing.
Nothing at all, right? You see, watch, I'll even place it right down on my forearm.
Nothing.
Upright like that. Nothing at all. You see that? That's what I love about moon jellies. See, they have those little crescent-shaped circles right there underneath the top of their body structure. Very cool looking. All right, little guy, I'll get you back into the water here. It's important that we keep the jellyfish hydrated.
So you see these washed up on the beaches a lot.
Yeah, they do wash up on the beach, and unfortunately the ones that are washed up on the beach usually end up drying up in the sun and dying. But they are all over the place out here today. And you look at this one, you think, oh, that's just a little tiny jellyfish. You guys want to see a big jellyfish?
Yeah, we have seen some bigger ones. Where are they?
I got a bigger one right here.
Oh, you have one all along?
When we were in between takes there was one floating right next to my kayak on this side. I lifted it up and got it into the boat. Look at that. Look at all the little moon-shaped crescents inside this one. Can you see that?
That one has more than 4.
Yeah, that one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is just so incredibly slimy. I do have to keep dunking it in the water to make sure that its body stays moist. But look at that. I mean, my hand is all wrinkled from being in the water all day, and now it's coated in slime.
So you weren't nervous trying to hold that jellyfish?
No, I knew that this species wouldn't sting me, but there are some species out there that do have an incredibly potent venom, so much so that some species are capable of killing a human.
Really? Like what?
Yeah. I believe the box jellyfish.
Ooh, Australia coming
Yep.
up soon.
Yeah, you do not want to mess with the box jellyfish.
But a moon jelly.
Moon jelly, totally safe. Well, I would definitely say that this was one epic expedition, exploring around the San Juan Islands, where we came across all sorts of marine creatures, from crabs and birds to harbor seals and even these slimy moon jellies. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next location. All right, let's put them back into the water. There you go. Back into the current. Ugh, I'm covered in slime. It is important to repeat and remind everyone that while moon jellyfish are completely harmless, there are several species of jellyfish around the world that are incredibly venomous. These varieties can inflict a series of stings that will certainly be painful, and in a worst case scenario, can even be deadly. So remember, always do your best to avoid coming in contact with a jellyfish. If you thought kayaking to the Peapod Islands was an exciting adventure, make sure to go back and watch the episode where we paddled out to the abandoned Fort Gorges. And don't forget, subscribe so you can join me and the crew on our next location. Look at the minerals coming out of the brick and creating stalagmites and stalactites